Fernando Verdasco Carmona is a professional tennis player. His career-high singles ranking is world number 7, achieved in April 2009. Verdasco started playing tennis at 4 years of age and had a full-time coach when he was 8. As of 2009, Verdasco has been working in Las Vegas with Andre Agassi and his team, including Darren Cahill and Gil Reyes. Verdasco has aided Spain in winning 3 Davis Cup titles, winning the deciding match in both 2008 and 2009. He was part of the winning team in 2011 as well. His best performance in a Grand Slam was making the semi-finals of the 2009 Australian Open, where he lost to compatriot and eventual champion Rafael Nadal in 5 sets. Verdasco has also reached the quarterfinals twice at the US Open, in 2009 and 2010, losing to Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal respectively, the latter of whom went on to win the title, and once at the 2013 Wimbledon Championships, where he led eventual champion Andy Murray 2-0 before being defeated in 5 sets. Career: early years, he turned professional in 2002, finishing as world number 464. 2002 was a good year for him, as he won his first futures category title in Spain F1 and was runner-up in Spain F3. He played his PON career challenger in Segovia, where he reached the final after beating Belarusian Vladimir Volchkov in the semi-finals. He then reached 2 additional challenger semi-finals in Kiev and in Ikental, finishing the year in the top 200 at number 173. 2002 also finished strongly off the court, as Fernando finished runner-up in a closely contested best abs and Castilla-La Mancha contest. 2003 In 2003, Verdasco played his first Masters Series tournament. He joined the main draw as a qualifier, and after defeating Carol Correia and Max Muñoz, he lost to countryman Carlos Moya in the 3rd round. After this good performance, he had a poor season on clay, and then he lost in the 1st round at Wimbledon against Finn Jarko Niemann in 5 sets, in which he changed tennis rackets to the new Wilson Prestige and took new natural products for increased speed on the court. Then Verdasco played in Cincinnati, where he lost to Andy Roddick in straight sets. He reached the 3rd round at the US Open, where he lost to Tai Paradorn Srikafan, after defeating countryman Tommy Robredo in the 1st round and Italian Davide Sanguinetti in the 2nd round. 2004, after finishing 2003 as number 109 in the world, he had a breakthrough in 2004 when he won his first ATP title in Valencia. He defeated defending champion Juan Carlos Ferrero in the semi-finals and Albert Monte ± a copyright S in the final. He also reached a final in Acapulco, losing to Carlos Moya, and the quarter-finals in Halle and in Esch-Bosch on grass. He reached the 3rd round in 2 Masters Series tournaments, the Hamburg Masters and the Madrid Masters. He reached the quarter-finals in Stockholm and the semi-finals in Kitzbühel 1/4 hell, and won a doubles title in Stockholm, ending the year ranked number 36 in the world. 2005 In 2005, he defeated Andy Roddick twice, in Miami and in Rome. In Rome, the match was famous for Roddick being match point up on Verdasco's serve and having the match end with a double fault from Verdasco, but Roddick claimed that the serve was not out and the match went on, with Verdasco winning. He also reached the quarter-finals in Valencia, Rome, and New Haven, the semi-finals of St. Petersburg, and was finalist in Kitzbühel 1/4 hell, where he lost to Argentine Gaston Den Gaudio. Verdasco reached his first Grand Slam 4th round at the US Open, where he lost to Jarko Niemann, after defeating Novak Djokovic. His year-end ranking improved slightly to number 32 in the world. 2006, Fernando reached the 4th round at Wimbledon, after beating Vince Spadea and German Benjamin Becker, and also upsetting 3rd seed and former runner-up David Nalbandian in straight sets in the 3rd round. Verdasco then lost to Czech Radek Tapernek in 5 sets. At the US Open, Fernando reached the 3rd round, but lost to eventual runner-up Andy Roddick in 5 sets. In previous rounds, Fernando defeated Fabrice Santoro in 4 sets and Thiago Alves in 3. Fernando then lost in the quarter-finals of Palermo to Ruba copyright N. Ramirez Hidalgo, and then he lost to Ramírez Hidalgo again the following week in the first round at Metz. Verdasco did not win a match the rest of year. He lost to Italian Daniel Braccioli in Moscow, and then in the last two Masters Series tournaments of the year, he lost to Tim Henman in the Madrid Masters and to Michael Laudrup in the Paris Masters. Verdasco finished the year ranked number 35. 2007. In 2007, Verdasco lost in the first round in the three Masters Series tournaments on clay. He lost to Frenchman Richard Gasquet in both Monte Carlo Masters and Rome Masters, and to Czech Tomáš Berdych in the Hamburg Masters. He lost to Novak Djokovic in the fourth round of the French Open. In the previous rounds, he beat quarterfinal Rami Hajnal in the first round, Dmitry Tisunov in the second round, and David Ferrer in the third round. In the grass season, he lost in the first round in Queens, and he reached the third round at Wimbledon, where he lost to third seed Andy Roddick after beating Bobby Reynolds in the first round and Italian Andrea Seppi in the second round. At the Madrid Masters, Verdasco cruised through to the second round with a win over Albert Monti ± a copyright S, beating him in straight sets. However, in the second round he faced third seed Novak Djokovic and after winning the first set, the Serb player won the next two. At the St. Petersburg Open, Verdasco played some brilliant tennis to reach the final without losing a single set. En route to this final, he defeated Marin Oia, who defeated Nikolay Davydenko early on, in the semi-final. However, his quest to win the title ended with a defeat by Scot Andy Murray. Still, this solid performance raised Verdasco's position in the ATP rankings to 27 the next week. 2008, Fernando entered the Australian Open as the 25th seed. He won his opening match with a strong performance against Thierry Ashen. He lost his second-round match in a close battle with Serbian Janko Tipsarevic, who later went on to take Roger Federer to 5 sets. Fernando entered the Dubai Tennis Championships with a possible second-round opponent of either Roger Federer or Andy Murray. His opponent would be Murray after he beat Federer in 3 sets. Fernando managed to take Murray to 3 sets but after a good performance he lost the match. In Berlin, Fernando and doubles partner Feliciano Lacubde-Pez clinched Spain's spot in the Davis Cup semi-finals after defeating Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber and Philippe Dessner in a 4-hour and 45-minute marathon match. At the Monte Carlo Masters in Monaco, Fernando lost to Gaël Monfils in straight sets in the first round. In Barcelona the following week he also lost his first-round match in straight sets to Nicolas Lepenti. His form improved dramatically for the Rome Masters where he reached the third round. En route he got the better of Carlos Moya and Nicolas Lepenti before losing in a thriller to James Blake. Fernando continued his run of excellent form into the Hamburg Masters where he beat Mikhail Yuzny in the first round. In the second round he beat Michael Laudrup. Verdasco then went on to record a remarkable win against compatriot David Ferrer in straight sets. His run ended when he met the world number 1 Roger Federer, losing. At the French Open Verdasco was seeded number 22 and enjoyed a good run, ending with a loss to Rafael Nadal in the last 16. On June 9, Fernando achieved his career-high ranking of number 20, as a result of his run at the French Open. He reached the final of the Nottingham Open raising his ranking to a career-high of number 18. At Wimbledon, he lost to Mario Arnaia in a 5-set thriller in which the last set lasted over 90 minutes and ended 13-11, in the fourth round. His performance at the Wimbledon Championships brought his world ranking up to number 13. His most recent ATP victory was in Umag, Croatia where he defeated Igor Andreev. Afterwards, he again improved in the rankings to 11th place. Verdasco was the 13th seed at the US Open in 2008, and lost to the 23rd seed Andreev in the third round. On November 23, Verdasco won the fourth rubber of Spain's Davis Cup final match against Argentina, defeating Jose Ayuso. This was enough to ensure the team a victory. Verdasco had also played in the doubles match of the previous day and won, partnering Feliciano Lacubde-Pez. 2009. Verdasco started his season by reaching the final of the Brisbane International, losing to Raid Kangstrom Tapernek in 3 sets. Partnering Misha Zverev, he was also the runner-up in the doubles final. At the 2009 Australian Open, in his first appearance in a Grand Slam quarter-final, Verdasco defeated Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Verdasco then lost to world number 1 Rafael Nadal in what was at the time the longest match in Australian Open history, lasting 5 hours, 14 minutes. Verdasco's semi-final run earned him number 9 ranking, lifting the Spaniard into the top 10 for the first time. After being sidelined by injury since the Australian Open, he reached the quarter-finals at Indian Wells, where he lost to Roger Federer. At the 2009 Miami Masters, Verdasco recorded his 200th ATP match win by defeating qualifier Benjamin Becker in the second round. He would go on to reach the quarter-finals, losing to Andy Murray. His run at this tournament earned him a further career-high ranking of number 8. During the clay court season, Verdasco again reached quarter-final stage, where he lost to Novak Djokovic. Following this tournament, his ranking rose further to number 7. In Barcelona, he lost in the quarter-finals to Fernando Gonzalez. At the 2009 Rome Masters, he advanced to the quarter-finals, where he lost to Rafael Nadal. At the 2009 Madrid Masters, Verdasco reached the quarter-finals. Verdasco again lost to Nadal for the 9th time. Competing as the 8th seed at the 2009 French Open, Verdasco lost in the 4th round to 10th seed Nikolay Davydenko. On his first tournament on grass that season, Verdasco lost in the first round of the 2009 Jerry Weber Open to Philipp Tzner. At the 2009 Ordina Open, he lost in the second round to eventual title winner Benjamin Becker. At the third Grand Slam of the year, Wimbledon, he matched his best result at that tournament by reaching the 4th round, where he was ousted by the big serving Croat, Ivo Karlovic. Verdasco competed in the Swedish Open as the top seed, advancing to the quarter-finals where he retired against Juan Marc Ubnako. After a small break he played in the Rogers Cup and was defeated by Andy Roddick in the 3rd round. He was then upset by compatriot Guillermo Garca and La Cubed Pez in the first round of the Cincinnati Masters in 2 tiebreaks. In New Haven, Verdasco defeated Igor Andreev in 2 tiebreak sets in the semi-finals. Due to rain delays in the previous days, Verdasco returned later the same day for the final against Sam Querrey, winning in straight sets. He did not lose a set in the entire tournament. He was seeded 10th at the US Open, the year's final Grand Slam, losing in the quarter-finals to Novak Djokovic. Verdasco's first indoor tournament of the season was the 2009 Malaysian Open, where he lost to Nikolay Davydenko in straight sets in the final. At the China Open, Verdasco was seeded 5th, losing to Djokovic in the quarter-finals for the 3rd time in that year. In Shanghai, a Masters 1000 tournament, he lost his opening match to Ivan Dubuyer. He next competed at the Valencia Open 500. He advanced to the semi-finals where he lost to top seed Andy Murray. He next competed at the Paris Masters as the 7th seed. In the 3rd round, Verdasco lost to Marin Oiya. His bid in qualifying for the ATP World Tour Finals depended on the results of other players because of this loss. However, Robin Zaar-Delling and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga failed to pass the quarterfinals, allowing Verdasco to qualify for the Tennis Masters Cup for the first time in his career. At the ATP Tour Finals, Verdasco lost to Roger Federer in his first round-robin matching to Juan Martín del Potro in his second match. He then lost his third match against Andy Murray in the round-robin, hence ending his run at the tournament. Verdasco finished 2009 with a 52-25 record in singles, his best record to date, and finished the year at number 9, the first time he has finished the year in the top 10. To close 2009, Verdasco partnered Feliciano Lacubde-Pez in the 2009 Davis Cup final doubles match against the Czech Republic. Playing against Raid Kangstrom Tapernek and Tomaso Berdych, Verdasco and Lopez saved a set point to win the first set, and eventually the match. This victory retained the Davis Cup for Spain, and was a fitting end to Verdasco's most successful season on the tour so far. 2010, Verdasco started his 2010 season at the exhibition tournament AAMI Kong Classic in Melbourne, in preparation for the upcoming Australian Open. He beat Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the final. His first official tournament for the year was in the Australian Open. As the 9th seed, he lost in the 4th round against Nikolay Davydenko in a 5-set match. His next tournament was the SAP Open in San Jose, California. Before his first round match, he won an exhibition match against Pete Sampras in straight sets. In the tournament final, he defeated Andy Roddick to capture his 4th ATP singles title. This was his first win over a top 10 ranked player since the 2009 Australian Open. He arrived late at the 2010 Regions Morgan Keegan Championships in Memphis, and as a result, he was ousted in the opening round by Ra Machadi. Verdasco's next tournament was the Acapulco, where he lost to Juan Marcube Naco in the quarterfinals. Seeded 10th at the 2010 BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells, where, in the 3rd round, he lost to Tomaso Berdych. At the 2010 Sony Ericsson Open, after receiving an opening round bye, he lost to Berdych in the quarterfinals. At the 2010 Monte Carlo Rolex Masters, as the 6th seed, he defeated the number 1 seed Novak Djokovic to reach his first ever Masters 1000 final, to meet 5-time defending champion Rafael Nadal. It was the first all-Spanish final of a Masters 1000 event since Monte Carlo in 2002. However, he was defeated by Rafael Nadal. Despite the lopsided final, Verdasco had done enough to ensure a return to the top 10, at number 9. The following week, Verdasco played at the 2010 Barcelona Open as the 5th seed, where he defeated Robin Zar-Paragraph-Delling to win his 5th career singles title. In the 2010 Internazionale BNL d'Italia, where he played in his second semi-final appearance at the Masters 1000 level, he faced David Ferrer and lost. Verdasco's next tournament was the Madrid Open, where he was seeded 6th. After receiving a bye in the first round, he defeated Ivo Karlovic before falling to Jawan Gen Meltzer. Then, a week before the French Open, he reached his 4th final of the year at Nice by beating Leonardo Mayer in the semi-finals. He then lost to Richard Gasquet in the final. During the 3rd set, he was captured by a microphone yelling profanities about the crowd and was seen to sarcastically wave at them, after which the crowd booed him. He apologized after the match and before the French Open to everyone and stated that 2 fans had agitated him. Verdasco was the 7th seed at the 2010 French Open where, in the 4th round, he lost to Nicolas Almagro. In an upset, Verdasco then lost in the opening round of Wimbledon to Fabio Fognini. After losing in the quarterfinals in Bayernstad, Verdasco then traveled to the USA to begin his preparations for the US Open. At the Legg Mason Classic in Washington, Verdasco lost to Marcos Baghdatis in the 2nd round. At the 2010 US Open, Verdasco came back from 2 sets down in the round of 16 to defeat compatriot David Ferrer in 5 sets. However, he lost to top seed and eventual champion Rafael Nadal in the next round, increasing Nadal's lead over the career head-to-head 11-0. He next played at the 2010 PTT Thailand Open, losing to Benjamin Becker in the 2nd round after receiving a first-round bye. He then traveled to China for the 2010 China Open in Beijing, losing to Philipp Kohlschreiber of Germany there, and at the Emo de Bakker of the Netherlands at the 2010 Shanghai Rolex Masters. In the 2010 BNP Paribas Masters in Paris, he lost to Gaël Monfils in 3 sets despite holding 2 match points at 5-4 in the decider. Verdasco finished the year with the same ranking he ended with in 2009, which was number 9. 2011, Verdasco started the year losing in the first round of the Brisbane International to Benjamin Becker. He then failed to defend his title at the exhibition tournament, the 2011 Caen Classic, losing to Gaël Monfils in the first round. Seeded 9th at the 2011 Australian Open, Verdasco lost in the 4th round to 6th seed Tomaso Berdych, saying after the match he had a long-time injury in his foot. He had MRI scans on his foot and is confirmed that he had a fractured foot. He has claimed he has sustained this since late 2009. His next tournament was the SAP Open in San Jose, California, where was defending champion and top seed. He advanced to the final without losing a set against Ria Ram, Ivo Karlovia, Denis Istomin and Juan Martín del Potro. His opponent in the final was young Canadian first-time finalist Milos Raonic. Verdasco held 4 set points in a first-set tiebreak but lost the next 6 points and the set. He eventually lost the match. Verdasco faced off against Raonic in the first round of Memphis. For the second time in 2 weeks, he lost to Raonic, this time in a third-set tiebreak. He then traveled to Mexico, where he was seeded second. Again, he lost in the first round, this time to Brazilian Tomás Bilucci. Verdasco and his Spanish teammates next played Davis Cup against Belgium. Verdasco won both of his rubbers in singles and doubles and helped Spain to a 4-1 victory. At Indian Wells, Verdasco snapped his losing streak in ATP Tour events when his second-round opponent Rioardas Berankis had to retire after Verdasco was leading. But he then lost to Sam Querrey in the third round. At Miami, he again received a first round bye but lost to Pablo Andujar, committing 3 double faults in his service game at 4-4 in the third. At the Monte Carlo Masters, he lost to Tommy Robredo in the second round, after a first-round bye. At the Estoril Open, Verdasco reached the finals, defeating Federico Gilbert, Kevin Anderson and was aided by the retirement of Milos Raonic in the semi-finals. In the final, he lost to Juan Martín del Potro. Then at the Madrid Masters, his hometown, Verdasco lost in the second round after a first-round bye to Liu Yensun, which was only Liu's second victory on clay courts in his decade-long career. Verdasco reached the third round of the French Open as the 16th seed where he lost to Ivan Dubuyer. Beginning his grass season at the 2011 Wimbledon Championships as the 7th seed, he defeated Nicolas Mahut and David Nalbandian in straight sets before losing to Andy Roddick in the quarter-finals. At Wimbledon, as the 21st seed, he defeated Radkangstrom Tapanek in the first round in a long 5-set match, before succumbing to Dutchman Robin Haas in the second round. 2012, Verdasco started the year with a first-time participation at the Hopman Cup partnering Anabel Medina Garrigues representing Spain. He reached the quarter-finals in Auckland, where he lost to David Ferrer in straight sets. Verdasco lost in the first round of the 2012 Australian Open to Australian Bernard Tomic in 5 sets. Verdasco then travelled to Brazil, where he reached the quarter-finals, only to be defeated by compatriot Albert Ramos. He reached a final in Acapulco, but was defeated again by David Ferrer. In Barcelona, he was defeated in the semi-finals by eventual champion Rafael Nadal. At the Masters 1000 event in Madrid, Verdasco defeated Nadal in 3 sets after Nadal served for the match at 5-2 in the decider. This was Nadal's only defeat on clay that season. Verdasco lost to eventual runner-up Tomaso Berdych in the quarter-finals. He then reached the third round of the 2012 French Open, but was defeated in 5 sets by Andre Agassi, who had earlier defeated Nikolay Davydenko in the first round and went on to take Novak Djokovic to 5 sets in the very next round. Verdasco then played in Prostayov and lost in the first round. He was defeated by number 1166 Marek Semjan from Slovakia in 3 sets. At Wimbledon, he reached the third round, losing to Xavier Malisse in 5 sets. Verdasco was ousted by Marcel Granollers of Spain in the semi-finals of the Croatia Open. At the 2012 US Open, he lost in the third round to Roger Federer. Verdasco reached the quarter-finals in Bangkok, losing to Janko Tipsarevic in straight sets. 2013, Verdasco was playing with significant pain in 2012, starting before the US Open. In 2013, he was healthy again and achieved significantly better results. He reached the third round of the 2013 Australian Open, falling to Kevin Anderson, and of the Masters 1000 in Madrid, succumbing to Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Unseeded at the French Open, he lost in the second round to Janko Tipsarevic in 5 sets. Also unseeded at Wimbledon, Verdasco progressed to the quarter-finals where he met tournament favourite Andy Murray. Verdasco exceeded expectations by winning the first two sets, and had multiple break points against Murray's serve in the third and fourth sets, but Verdasco eventually lost the match in 5 sets. Murray eventually went on to capture the championship. Verdasco reached his first final of the year at the Swedish Open where he was defeated by Carlos Berlocq. The following week Verdasco reached the quarterfinals of the 2013 International German Open, where he was ousted in 3 tight sets by Argentine qualifier Federico Del Bonis. Verdasco was beaten in the first round of the US Open by Ivan Dodig of Croatia, in 5 sets. In November 2013, Verdasco along with doubles partner David Marrero, beat the Bryan brothers to win the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. 2014, Verdasco won his 6th career title at the 2014 US Men's Clay Court Championships by beating Nicolas Almagro in straight sets. Verdasco again reached a 4th round of the French Open by defeating Richard Gasquet in straight sets. Playing style and equipment, Verdasco is an offensive baseliner who is comfortable on all surfaces, with fast hard courts being his best. Verdasco considers his best shot to be his forehand, a shot that commentator Brad Gilbert often refers to as his fear hand. His serve is characteristic of a left-handed player predominantly using slice to create a lot of spin, and is capable of speeds exceeding 230 km/h. Verdasco is known for rivaling compatriot Rafael Nadal with the amount of top spin he can put on a ball, which partly explains his improved results since 2009, but still struggles with his nerves when facing the best players in the world. He is endorsed by Adidas and recently switched to Babolat for rackets, after having played with Technifa for the majority of his career and Dunlop from 2011 to 2013. He is currently using the Babolat Europro Drive 2013. Personal life: Verdasco began playing tennis when he was 4 years old, practicing with his father on the 2 hard courts in the backyard of their family home. He stopped school at the age of 11, and his father took over his son's academic training. His parents, Jose Copyright and Olga, who were of Latin American descent, own a restaurant in Madrid. He has 2 younger sisters, Sarah and Anna. Verdasco was diagnosed with ADHD when he was a child, but did not receive treatment in order not to have problems with doping. Verdasco supports Real Madrid. Verdasco has often spoken of his love for the indie rock band Oasis and once proposed that he would play a tennis match wearing headphones listening to their seminal 1994 album, Definitely Maybe. He is known to use mindfulness techniques during his tennis matches, often visualizing soothing and romantic scenes to help dampen the stress of professional tennis. He owns a dog named Bono Bono. He has dated lingerie model Jara Mariano. Significant finals: year-end championships finals, doubles, 1, Masters 1000 finals, singles, 1, doubles, 1, ATP career finals, singles, 19, doubles, 12, team events, Davis Cup. Verdasco played with La Armada for 7 straight years from 2005 to 2011, winning the trophy in 2008 and 2009, as well as in 2011. Wins: Hopman Cup, Singles Performance Timeline, Key, 1 tournament. Or reached final. Semi-final. Quarter-final. Round 4, 3, 2, 1. Competed at a round-robin stage. Lost in qualification round. Absent from tournament event. Played in a Davis Cup zonal group or playoff. Won a bronze, silver or gold medal at the Olympics. A downgraded Masters Series/1000 tournament. Or a tournament that was not held in a given year. To avoid confusion and double counting, these charts are updated either at the conclusion of a tournament, or when the player's participation in the tournament has ended. Doubles Performance Timeline, Key, 1 tournament. Or reached final. Semi-final. Quarter-final. Round 4, 3, 2, 1. Competed at a round-robin stage. Lost in qualification round. Absent from tournament event. Played in a Davis Cup zonal group or playoff. Won a bronze, silver or gold medal at the Olympics. A downgraded Masters Series/1000 tournament. or a tournament that was not held in a given year. To avoid confusion and double counting, these charts are updated either at the conclusion of a tournament, or when the player's participation in the tournament has ended. Current till 2014 Australian Open. ATP Tour Career Earnings, References. External links, Fernando Verdasco's official site, Fernando Verdasco at the Association of Tennis Professionals, Fernando Verdasco at the Davis Cup, Fernando Verdasco's unofficial site, Spanish-language fan site, Verdasco recent match results, Verdasco World Ranking History, Fernando Verdasco Statistics, tennis gear used by Fernando Verdasco.